In this video, we are going to take you behind the scenes and provide commentary to our journey to Ennerdale Lake in Cumbria Lake District, an absolute beautiful destination. I can't wait to look back at this journey and provide you with some insights not in the original video. So let's take a look. Oh, look at that lake. It's stunning. One of my favorite places to visit in the Lake District. You may have to go up a cliff face, you may go through woods, but it is such an experience. It's an absolute adventure to go to. So I have kept the maps in here. I do think a part of my channel is to provide potential future walks for dog owners, families, etc. to recreate. The GPS and the map allows them to do that. So for 5-10 seconds, I'll give the audience that option. But then we're straight into the views and rapid firing of information. Now, I briefly show you the welcome board. As a introduction, we are starting this journey, but it comes one of quite a difficult scene. Now, as you see here, I'm walking with the camera and talking. This creates a lot of ambient noise. But on the other hand, there was a lot of wind that day and I couldn't find a place to actually sit down and, start talking to the audience. So I had to do it while moving and finding a way. You don't want to delay going through all the footage, finding the perfect spot. You're in an open area of a lake. You're not always going to have the ideal situation to talk to your audience. Now, this was a recurring theme, and something that I've been working on is changing up the sound and the cutting. And I will, throughout this video, have a moment of silence that goes into a music change up. And I'm trying my best to time the music with the individual scenes while not taking away from the story. Now, a lot of these will be scenic, nothing overly dramatic is going to happen. I'm not going to fall off a cliff and I've got to record it, but, I like to move it along and make sure you see everything along the journey, like that beautiful lake. Now, there is a bit of a cliff face to scale at the start, and this scene here depicts how, I have to carry all the equipment up. Now, it's not too bad to climb. If you're doing this with mild amount of supplies, you should be fine getting up, but you are rewarded. Seeing this lake from up high is definitely a reward in itself. So knee deep in views was from a phrase from another video. I think it was part of one of the bloopers. I kept it here in the actual footage. I think it suits it quite well. And as you can see, there are many alcoves and places where you can rest up with the dog, get him a drink, and then you veer over the cliff face and you start to make your journey back around the lake. Now, I have tried to veer away from, time-lapse shots. I do use them to move the story along. Sometimes these destinations are quite long, but I use it so you get a sense of the story moving along. But they need to be brief so there's something new to observe. As it was, it was the ending of the cliff and going into the woods. That transition was very important to the story. So we have a music change up because we're now entering a new area and a new part of the story and journey, the wooded area. It's absolutely beautiful and you get, away from the shade. But before you get engaged in it, we hit another gate and another music transition. But then I bring you back into the woodland area with a few snappy shots, another time lapse, just to keep you engaged with our journey through the wooded area. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. And again, settle by the lake, have some sandwiches, a drink, get the dog to dip his toes in, have a bit of a drink and enjoy yourselves, because that's what it's got to be about. I may be doing this, for footage and whatnot, but I'm also enjoying myself. I love hiking. I love going out with the dog and experiencing the area. Now, these wooded areas did allow me to do a few transitions of footage, peering behind trees, moving along, showing the various types of, footage and foliage in that area. It was beautiful. Now, I will say this, throughout the journey, there was a lot of wind, which, as you know, when taking footage can be very problematic because, it disrupts your audio. But I didn't want to remove all the moments where I was engaging with and talking to my audience because those are important moments. So I chose them wisely kept them and used them to distribute throughout the footage. I still want to engage with the audience, even if the audio is not the best quality. I think sometimes you have to make that sacrifice to, engage with your audience. Otherwise, you're just showing them footage and photos. You might as well go to Instagram. Again, we have another gate and another transition to a new location. Gates are an amazing way for allowing you to move the story along. You go through a gate into a new area, and briefly, I tell the audience we're transitioning to a new area. If you veer left and go along this route, you'll continue around the lake and get back to those views. For 5-10 seconds, I'm giving important information for those who want to replicate the information, but I'm using B roll to keep people engaged who are just here to look at a beautiful, view or a dog walk. Engaging with my audience while also providing useful information in various different ways. Now, this is an interesting story. So, Christy wanted to go to another beach to get some photos. Now, it just appears over this hill as we go through this brush. Beautiful, stunning beach. But on the other hand, getting to that beach was an absolute nightmare because we had to go through a brush, through nettles, just to get to it. Now, it's an adventure and it sometimes does help the footage, but you've got to go that extra mile sometimes to enjoy yourself. But it does create an interesting memory. The other end of the lake is a nice gradual transition. It's very flat and easy walk. Now, by this time, we've been walking for 4, 5, 6 hours. I don't tend to like talking into the microphone while walking because you get all that ambient noise. But I wanted to thank my audience, transition them into the end of the walk. It's important to me to engage with the audience and make that transition to the end of the video. But again, supplying that B roll to keep people engaged and looking at those stunning views instead of me. Now, I have in this video basically it's a lot shorter, snappier. I'm moving it along at a better pace. And what I do now is I engage with the outro instead of having 30-40 seconds where I just talk and ask you to subscribe, etc. I make it part of the video and let you transition and make the decision if you want to continue watching my content. I actually enjoy that a lot better than me creating an audio snippet at the end that you basically listen to on every video. Now, that was an amazing look back at our journey to Ennerdale Lake in Cumbria Lake District. It was absolutely beautiful, and I love these types of videos where I'm able to provide you with information not in the original video. This is amateur content, and I am constantly learning. But every video I make, every journey I go on, and every engagement I have with you, my audience, allows me to improve. So I hope you enjoyed this journey and the insights provided. If you did, you might enjoy these videos as well.